I guess first off, Dan, you mentioned that you're recording a podcast today. So I guess is everything kind of going on business as usual, at least with the podcast and recording? Like there's nothing's gonna kind of being put on hold on that front.
Well, yeah, we don't really have a set schedule and business as usual. We don't know what that means right now. We're there's a lot of different things going on, as you're aware. But we're just trying to, we're narcissists, so we need to get our voices out there. And as you've read, I'm sure legally, all that kind of stuff. It's like our opinion is we're putting out something behind a paywall. It's we will not accept advertising. We are not trying to impact the ticket negatively in any way, shape, or form. You got to add shape or form, right, Jake? If you're saying way,
it's shape or form.
Yeah, not just a shape.
Yeah.
Ryan, this is very important that you add form. But yeah, no. So yes, there is no business as usual, but we're planning on recording something today and then just talking a little bit because we do have people behind a paywall that we want to give them a little something, and that's it.
I just didn't realize, that it was going to be as public as it has been. So, it's hard. And I think in some ways, it's possibly been harder for me than Dan. If you want to call me a hero, you could. Just because I'm from here. So, I mean, I wake up.
I haven't thought of that.
I just wake up every day.
People are hitting you up from everywhere, right?
It's just 100.
My high school friends don't know what I'm doing. Right?
Yeah, exactly. So it's just 100, 200 text messages every single day when I wake up of people just asking me like, what is happening with this?
Yeah. I didn't think about that.
And it's hard, but I still fully believe that we made the right decision. And I believe in him. I believe in me. I believe in Kip and Bodie, the two dogs we have here. So we're just going to roll that way.
No, I was going to just follow up because you had said something about balancing creating content and dealing with lawyers or whatever. The creating content part to me is what's really suffering because we're spending too much of our time talking to people about other stuff that we don't understand.
People like you.
Yeah. People like Ryan from WFAA. So it's, we're media darlings. I think that's pretty evident. Everybody knows that.
Sure.
And so we're trying to, keep our media, friendships out there. But so just the being able to, what's the last game I'm kind of looking forward to tomorrow, right? We get to watch a Cowboy game.
We do. A
nice 4 p.m.er so we can get to bed on time.
That's right.
My old man need to get to bed a little early. So
no, I think his point is just that we're not like putting a ton of time into the content right now.
Yeah.
And sometimes, that feels like it sucks because for the two of us, that's all we used to do.
You guys are, I don't want to say you're like your show's not like, you're not comedians, but you guys you like to have fun with the show and are pretty, joking around and stuff like that. But what's it like when all of your business is in this very like legal, serious documents that are being filed, and you guys kind of like to have fun with, some of the stuff you do. And I think some of the filings I saw today, like it was specified in there that certain things are obviously jokes what's it like to see some of the jokes end up in actual like legal documents and kind of, that's just got to be kind of weird. Like that's not what world you're in every day. You're not in the legal serious world very much. So what's that kind of experience been like over the last few weeks?
Yeah, I think that one was on me completely. I don't know. Again, we're very dumb people, and I never thought about like things that we said in jest could end up potentially being like entered into legal filings. So the one specific comment that I made that they put in there was 100% a joke. We never recorded anything that any negotiations or anything like that with Cumulus, with anybody that we worked with. That never happened. So I think it's a little bit weird, and I think it's jamming us up a little bit over these first few weeks, in that we want to just be like the way that we were before, which was quote unquote irreverent. But at times we do have to stop and think about what we're saying. I mean, I'm stopping and thinking about what I'm saying to you right now. So it's
I'm not thinking of anything.
He's not thinking of anything. So sometimes, yeah, it's a little bit weird.
I think, Dan, you mentioned, well, I think one of the recent podcasts that y'all done that, and maybe this goes back to the whole trending thing, but you're kind of surprised to see, so many articles about this. I know maybe there's always going to be like the industry and trade magazines that may do updates on, comings and goings at the ticket, but are you surprised at the, I guess, media coverage that this has gotten as well, at least locally?
I don't know. I guess what I'm surprised it's that we're involved at all, but I'm not surprised that it's a ticket story. So the ticket is going to draw anything big, and we're associated with that. I suppose we might have been a part of the ticket as well, so that's probably why it's all together. So
you suppose?
Yeah.
I think for like 24 years.
That's right. Well, I have trouble remembering things, but yeah, I don't know. You say, am I surprised? Like, I just don't know what. I guess we didn't really plan to be here. So then you would have had, if we had planned to be here, we might have thought, okay, well, how will think about how is the reaction going to be, or so I'm not surprised because I didn't really think of anything. I never thought, oh, there's going to be minimal reaction or there's going to be a lot of reaction. Like, it just kind of is what it is. And it's like, wow, like Jake said, sometimes there's no whelm to it. It's way above the whelming. But it is also what you make of it. And, like I was out of town a couple days this week, and I told Jake, it's not that big of a deal. None of those people knew. It's pretty big in the fishbowl of the audience of the greatest radio station in the world and all that kind of stuff. But
sure,
overall, there's a lot bigger headlines out there. We're certainly trending on my phone because of who I follow. The faithful 420. Everything's got to be a joke, and yeah, but so I don't know. It's as big as you make it, I suppose.
I think I've said this to Dan like a number of times, and I've said this to people that I've worked with before. It's weird, like the ticket just fosters such a familial environment that sometimes I would forget that people could even hear us. It was just like we were just doing a show for each other, like we were just making each other laugh, and we were just like having a good time with each other. And it's not like you're standing in front of 100,000 people. You're just in this like little room that you go to work in every day. And obviously, like, there are things that you can and can't say that are, stipulated by the fact that people can hear you. But then, like, when this all happens, it's like, oh man, there's a lot of people listening. There's a lot of people who care about it a whole lot. So yeah.
Have you guys?
There have been parts of it for me that have been a little bit more louder than I would have expected, for sure.
Have you guys felt that way when you're doing the podcast over the last couple of weeks? I mean, is it, I guess, one, thinking about the audience that you're broadcasting to, even though it's in a much different format and medium and all that, but also just the way y'all do the show. Like, has it felt the same as it did when, y'all were doing the show together on the ticket? Like, has there been anything different, or is it just the fact that there's all this stuff going on in the background has kind of made it different more than anything? What's it been like just doing the show together or the podcast together the last few weeks?
Yeah, I would say that the latter thing that you mentioned actually affects the former quite a bit. Just the fact that there's all this other stuff going on, and it's, instead of there being five of us, there's just two of us. And that has significantly impacted our ability to do what we think we can do.
Yeah, I think it sounded nothing. It's felt nothing like what we've done.
Not at all.
Nothing at all. We're just recording. We're not live broadcasting, so there's not that whatever urgency or I don't know. It's just a weird feeling.
Yeah.
We're not doing so. I don't think it sounds anything like what we've done before. I don't think it feels like it. We're just, again, we wanted to just pop ourselves behind a paywall and keep talking because we're narcissists, and we'll see. It's got to get better, right? It's so low rent right now. It has to get better.
Do you guys really see yourselves doing this long term? I mean, is podcasting specifically what you want to try to do long term? Or, I mean, I know there's so many different, I mean, YouTube, I guess, is a podcast in a form, but it's also involves video and stuff like that. Like, what do you see long term as y'all kind of try to navigate this, or are you just trying to get past this whole legal stuff in the interim? Like, what's kind of the long term view of what y'all want to do?
I think you kind of hit it there in the second one too. Like,
Yep.
yeah, I don't know. I don't think I could maybe speak for you, Jake. We don't know what we want to do long term. We did know short term. We thought we'd just pop ourselves behind a paywall, talk a little bit, and get through, into next year, and then kind of try and evaluate. Look at, again, we didn't expect to be here, so we didn't have we clearly don't have a plan here. This is our short-term plan. Possibly everything's a possibility, right? Maybe we'll take over for Delkus in the long term. Maybe,
Two-man job.
We'll do a show on WFAA. Maybe we'll podcast. Maybe we'll, do a YouTube stream. Maybe there's going to be another platform that's invented between now and next year. Right? Because, Twitch, Kick. Isn't Kick the new thing?
You don't even know what that means.
I know it's a better for the creator than Twitch monetarily.
I guess have you guys talked with anyone at the ticket? Like any of the, I mean, obviously the at the executive level, I'm sure that's all like legal stuff, but have you talked with any of the former hosts lately, or what's kind of been any communication you've had with those guys?
I wake up and I call each and every one of them every morning.
Every morning.
Just to just see what they're going to do on the show that day. And
yeah.
But Jake's going to now tell you some serious stuff.
Okay.
No, but
Why are you making me do this?
No, I know. No, I of course. Yeah. We're great friends with a lot of those guys. So I've talked with, obviously since the end, I've talked with each and every one of them at some point in some way. And probably talked to Bob a little bit more, because he's the guy I came into the ticket with many years ago. But, yeah. The answer is yes.
For me, it was probably Corby a little bit more, but.
And he's the guy who kind of brought you in, right?
I mean, he sort of hired me when I was 17 or 18 years old. So, I think I get the sense that, they don't really want to be, because I wouldn't want to be involved in this either. Like if I still worked there and someone was doing this, I would just say, go do your thing. But you don't want to hear too much about like the legal.
Look, I don't want to be involved in legal.
I don't want to be involved in it.
I don't think we made this choice.
Yeah. So the general response that I've received is just, hey, love you guys. We're always going to be here for you. Do your thing.
Has the adjustment away from the station been what you might expect, or how are you adjusting to just not having or I mean, just not going into an office every day, or just not having the ticket be that part of your life that it was. Uh, I guess again outside of a courtroom setting now. But what's that adjustment like? Just been kind of moving away from the ticket.
How has it been just spending every day with the kids, Jake?
So the moving away from the ticket part of it, I knew that that was going to be the case. The not having like a regular schedule thing is really bad for me. I don't like it at all, and I think whatever we end up doing, Dan and I have been saying like maybe a couple weeks from now, it'll be more regular, but I definitely am the type of person who thrives on routine. And I think Dan's the same way. So, um, it'll get there. It's just not there right now. And it sucks.
Dan, do you kind of feel the same way, or what? How have you been kind of dealing with that aspect of it?
Yeah, exactly the same. I'm a huge, way more into routine, I think, even than Jake, and he's pretty hardcore into it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I like having the regular thing to do every day, and in fact, I'd like to work this in if we could. If we could talk to you every day at 1:45.
I don't really have much else. I don't know. I guess my only question, I mean, it's still, you guys are still planning to keep recording podcasts. Like there's nothing that is going to stop y'all from doing that right now, or what's kind of the, at least moving forward in the immediate future, what's sort of your plan?
Um, yeah, again, our advisors have told us there is nothing wrong with what we are doing. Apparently, these clauses can be interpreted in different ways. Some people think there is something wrong. So they're just saying, yeah, don't accept advertising, stay behind a paywall, do your talking, and put out your low rent product, and keep being narcissists. And so that's what I think we're doing right now. If you say nothing can stop us, a lot can stop us. We're very weak. We can be easily stopped, and it may all end tomorrow. Who knows?
Yeah, and I just want to add that only a true narcissist uses the word narcissist 3 times in a 30-minute conversation.
You think? I don't think you know.
Yeah. But no, I mean, everything could change every day, but our intention right now is to just keep doing stuff every couple days, 3-4 times a week, sometimes 5 times a week. And we'll just go from there.